Hi boys and girls, welcome to another flipped lesson. The last few weeks you've been doing multi-digit multiplication, so now we're going to be moving on to long division, which is a new skill for a lot of you. I'll be teaching you two different methods in the next few weeks, but the first one we're going to be learning is the partial quotients method. So we've done partial products, which was multiplication, so now it's partial quotients, which means we're kind of breaking it down into parts instead of doing it in just one big chunk. So we're going to do a couple examples here, and then hopefully by the end you will be able to do multi-digit division here. These are ones that you normally wouldn't be able to do in your head. So with partial quotients, first we want to get the terminology down quick. So the dividend is 74, so we're doing 74 divided by 5. So the divisor is 5, the dividend is 74. And then eventually the quotient, which is the answer to a division problem, is what we're going to do up here. So just to familiarize yourself with the vocabulary. So when doing partial quotients, you first have to think about how many 5s fit into 74, which most people can't do in their head, or most fourth graders can't do in their head right away. So that's why we're trying to break it down into parts. So you try to think of a number you know for sure fits into 74 without going over. And it's usually good to do multiples of 5 or 10. I like to do 10, 10, 100, or 1,000, just because those are easy to do, or multiples of 5 are usually easy for people to do. So if you think about it, 5 times 100 times 5 is 500. That's way too many. So 100 5s don't fit into 74, so that's way too big. So I would start with 10, so because for sure 10 5s fit into there. So whatever for sure fits into your dividend, you first put over here. So if I know 10 5s fit into 74, I put the 10 over here. Now whatever number you put here, you always multiply by your divisor. So 10 times 5 is 50, and that's why we do 10s or multiples of 5, because they're easy to multiply. And then you subtract it. So 74 minus 50, so 4 minus 0 is 4, and 7 minus 5 is 2. So now, see, I've broken it down. So I've got the first part done. I know 10 5s fit in there, so we got rid of 50, but now we still have 24 more to go. So now I have to think how many 5s fit into 24. So it usually gets easier and easier as you go. Now I can't use 10 again, because if I use 10 times 5 is 50. We can't go over the 24. So I have to think how many 5s fit into 24 without going over. So let's see, if you know your facts, 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25, so 5's even too big. So 5 times 4, so 4 5s fit into 24, so I'm going to put the 4 over here. Remember, whenever I put a number here, I multiply it by my divisor. So 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to put the 20 here. And again, I subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. 2 minus 2 is nothing, so I'll just leave that blank. So we've got 4. Now, I only have 4 left now because I got rid of 50. I got rid of 20. There's only 4 left now. 5 doesn't fit into 4. So when this number down here, when you get a number in this column that's smaller than your divisor, you're done. Because this is actually going to be our remainder. And then what you do with these numbers on the right is you add them up. So 10 plus 4 is 14. So our answer, our quotient, is 14 remainder 4. So 14 5s fit into 74, and then there's 4 remaining. If you want to check it, you can use your multiplication quick. So you can do 14 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 70. Then you add your remainder, so plus 4. and it checks out. 74. Alright, so here is another example, a little bit harder, but it's going to be the same concept. So, again, you've got your dividend, which is 194, divided by 8. So we're really thinking about how many 8s fit into 194, which again, you can't do in your head, so that's why we're trying to do, or that's why I'm showing you the partial quotients method to kind of break it down into parts, and then eventually you'll get the answer. And again, with partial quotients, you can do it a different way over here and still get the same answer. Some people might do it in 2 steps or 3 steps or even 4, but eventually when you add up those numbers, you're still going to get the same answer. So you want to think to yourself, how many 8s fit into 194 for sure? So again, this is where knowing your extended facts come into place. You know, 8 times 10 is 80. I mean, you could do it, but it might take you a few more steps. 8 times, so you can do that over here. You can kind of say 8 times 10 equals 80. That's kind of small though, so maybe you could do 8 times 20 equals 160. Then you can also think, let's see, 8 times 30 equals 240. So 80 is a little too small. 240 we can't do because we have to stay at 194 or below. So let's use 20, seems like the best option. So if we do 20 over here, so we know that 28s fit into 194 for sure. So 20 times 8 is 160. And then remember we subtract. So 4 minus that is 0 is 4, 9 minus 6 is 3. So we actually got a big chunk out of the way. So now we got it all the way down to 34. So now we're thinking how many 8s fit into 34 without going over. So let's see, 8 times 10 doesn't work, that's 80. 8 times 5 is 40, that's still too big. 8 times 4 is 32, so let's do that. So 4 here, remember whenever you put a number here, you multiply it by your divisor. 4 times 8 is 32. Then you're going to subtract. And then that's a 0, so we'll just leave it blank. Remember, when this number is smaller than this number, you are done. Or if you get a 0 down here, then you know you're done too, and then there's no remainder. So we add this up, and notice how I have these lined up. 24, so remember that's our answer, so, or our quotient. So the answer, or our quotient is 24, remainder 2. And if you wanted to check it, you could do 24 times 8, and then you add 2, and you would get 194. Hopefully this helped you guys, and look at the entrance ticket, and if that's a little too difficult, I'll replay the video, and good luck.